So we're going to begin with an announcement.
Oh, I just wanted to, some of you guys know, like, I have a novel that just got published in October, and I have a couple of events this month. So they're on here. If you want to take one, they're invitations to you, whoever wants to go. One of them is at my alma mater where I did my undergrad at St. Xavier in Chicago. And the other one is actually, and this is the one that I want to kind of push a little bit more, it's actually a Latino book and family festival in Cicero. So, it's a festival, so it's a Saturday and a Sunday. It's like March 31st and April 1st. And Saturday it's from like 12 to 7. Sunday it's from like 11 to 6. So it's kind of an all-day thing. It's for families. So these are like my personal invitations for me that if you want to take one, I'm going to pass those around. But if you work with Hispanic communities, if you know people who work with Hispanic communities,
I'm advertising with you as you talk.
The actual promo from the festival, it's a festival because, like I said, it's promoting literacy and family for Latino communities, and it's an event that's sponsored by actor Edward James Olmos. And it hits on, and some of it's in Spanish. The flyers are in Spanish. I don't know if they have English flyers. Yeah, I am on here. So these are in Spanish. I only have a few. If you want one of these, that's fine. If you know people who will be able to understand them, you want to take one to copy it. And it's just to help the communities. A lot of you know too, that's my big thing, is trying to help my cultural community. And this is doing that. It's workshops and panels on education, immigration, technology, healthcare, things that they need to be in the loop of. And so I'm going to pass these around too if you want to take one of these and copy it. If communities that maybe you're familiar with, parishes that you might work with, people that you know. It's a free festival. It's it's very beneficial. So I will be there, but it's just the event itself is it's trying to do a lot for the Latino community. So the support is, I'm sure it would be a good experience for you if you stop by.
Wonderful. When are you presenting at a certain point in the day?
I'm supposed to, but when I made my flyers, I didn't even know what time the festival was. That I just got yesterday, and I got my flyers 2 days before. So I don't know yet what's going on. I know what their workshops are on. So probably today or tomorrow I'm going to say, well, where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing? And I'm actually, because the topics are, I said, technology, immigration, health, a couple other things, finance, things like that. And I want to actually suggest maybe something spiritual or religious, because that's, my concerns with the community as well. It's education, but also spirituality and religion. So I'm going to kind of see if I can coax them into doing something around that arena, because they did give me a list of what the workshops are, but they also said that they're tentative and they can change.
Good
so
change.
I can kind of suggest doing something, like that. So.
Well, thank you so much for letting us know, and it sounded like a rich, a rich day and a rich event. So that's a wonderful commitment you're making.
And there's also, I don't know if you're familiar with Morton College.
No.
I'm not either, but in one of the emails that I got yesterday, they also said that if we wanted to be on panels at Morton College on the 30th, Friday, and of course I'm going to take advantage of that as well. So I'm not really sure what's going to go on there, but that's also another option if you're interested in that, and I get more information on that. I can bring that next week.
Wonderful. Wow, great initiatives. Well, thank you. So in shifting gears now, we're going to refocus on a new text, and I apologize with the chapters being a little bit different from what some of you might have expected. The chapter is it's an edited volume, so it has different styles and different areas of focus. So because we're not going to have enough time to go through the whole book, I'm going to do it a little bit more piecemeal. So please be sure to read if you haven't already, the chapters that I noted. The particular author I want to begin talking about is a very well-known figure, actually, Anne-Marie Rizzuto. Anne-Marie Rizzuto has a very interesting history. She is an Argentinian psychoanalyst who actually was born in Italy and moved to Argentina, I think as a child, I believe, and became a psychoanalyst and became a premier international scholar, actually, in psychoanalysis. But developed a very, and while in Argentina, she has a very devout spirituality and a faith journey, but she was working in supportive ways for people who were trying to do pastoral counseling in Argentina. So she came to the United States maybe, I'm thinking 25 years ago, and kind of was a sort of a lonely voice within psychoanalytic circles in trying to retrieve this idea of a spiritual core to psychoanalysis. So she wrote a book in 1979 called The Birth of the Living God. And it's really a great book on what I would call psychology of religious experience. And she talks about the developmental journey of children in terms of their appropriating God reality from a child's sort of vantage point. And it's called The Birth of the Living God. So that book in 1979 really became a kind of a springboard into the psychology of religion, which was really an active field. William James, the pioneer pretty much of psychology, William James was the real pioneer of psychology of religion. And he wrote a very famous book in 1900 called The Varieties of Religious Experience. So psychology and theology, spirituality, really were very close in its affiliations, and not just affinity so much, but in their cooperative, exploratory realities. So the field kind of got really split. And then Anne-Marie Rizzuto was one of the instrumental people to kind of bring it back into some convergence. And then we've had a lot of other people like Ken Wilber and transpersonal psychologists. There's a lot of other stuff going on these days. But Anne-Marie Rizzuto, one of the reasons she's being featured here is because she is such a, central figure. So in this chapter, and unfortunately in the book it doesn't say what chapters you're in, so you don't really know what chapter you're. You have page numbers, but it doesn't say what actual chapter. Yeah, so I'm working from page 57 in this chapter to 72. So in this chapter, she highlights very much our developmental vulnerabilities. In other words, that there is a developmental